Hello, welcome to my updated video for mining in 7 Days to Die. I'm Hive Tyrant 424, and I've been playing 7 Days to Die for several years. In fact, I have 3,400 plus hours in the game, so I've explored several ways to play using different builds, different styles, and different goals. I play on normal difficulty because I see no point in increasing the difficulty when all that does is make your early game harder. Later on, as you progress and develop your perks and improve your gear, you'll be killing zombies by the boatload with single shots anyway. I do, however, increase the zombie speed for nighttime to Nightmare, just to keep me from getting too relaxed. I do not mod my game. Some call it vanilla. I call it the game as the developers intended. But that said, there is no right or wrong way to play this or any other game. If it's fun for you, that's how you should play it. This is just how I do it. Now, this video is assuming you have some basic knowledge of 7 Days to Die, such as what a resource node looks like, the different resources you can harvest, and the tools you need in order to harvest them. Maybe if I need to put together a tutorial for that, I will. Let me know what you think in the comments below if you'd like to see a tutorial for basic mining. But make sure that you have plenty of lumber for ladders and wooden blocks and so on. That's what I'm doing here, is cutting up my orchard. And make sure you have plenty of food, water, first aid supplies, gasoline if you're using power tools. And I know there are people that play with strictly hand tools. I don't understand why. It's so much less efficient and you get so much less out of the time that you spend mining. I don't get it, but again, no right or wrong way to play the game. And don't forget repair kits. Very, very important. You want to make sure you have all of this stuff, because once you go underground, it's kind of a pain to have to come all the way back up and then go all the way back to your base to pick up a repair kit because your auger is busted. It's no bueno. It's no fun. So don't forget if you plant an orchard like I have here, yes, it's made of concrete. I have a lot of surplus building materials and a lot of time on my hands. Don't forget to replant. You want to make sure to keep the environment nice and green, nice and clean, and replace the trees that you cut down like I'm doing here. I don't really have a lot of need for lumber anymore, but when I cut down the orchard, I get lots of lumber and I just replace the trees here. So the first mining technique that I'm going to show you, I'm going to call target mining. This is the technique I use in my early game when I first start to need resources from underground. It's best used when you're playing solo and not part of a mining team, because when you're digging with your friends, they can accidentally cause a cave-in if they hit a block you were planning to leave for support. Some advantages to this technique are you can mine at night, and you can limit where the zombies can attack you from. You can do it relatively early in the game when you're working with hand tools, and it's a good way to pass time. Like I said, I do a lot of hand mining at night, just to pass the nights when I'm not 100% secure on my position or my weaponry. So you also you don't have to remember where all the gaping holes that you've made on the map are when you have a vehicle. Big advantage when you use this mining technique. One of the drawbacks, of course, is that it's very time consuming and you're going to lose productivity time in order to prevent a cave-in. Now, first we have to identify the resource that we need. Since I'm going to be in need of coal, I've gone ahead and marked that here, and I've traveled to it. And I want to make sure to point out that under every single one of these nodes is a vein of that resource. Some are bigger than others, but that node isn't all by itself. There are thousands of that resource just below it. So think of those nodes or those markers on the surface as resource markers. That's what I do. So when I start a new mine shaft like this, I'll begin by digging straight down through the resource node until I get past the clay soil layer and a few layers into the stone. I don't want to dig in the clay soil because it has very poor structural integrity and it collapses very easily, which defeats the purpose of a targeted mine shaft. Stone is a lot stronger, so I'll dig down through the stone, give myself one or two layers of stone above my head, and then I'll start cutting. Once I'm at my depth, I'm going to cut tunnels no wider than 4 blocks, and I use wooden frames to count the spaces to make sure I don't go over 4. I do that a lot. If that makes it easier for you, then do that. A quick word about security while you're mining. I use robotic turrets. Having gone all the way into Robotics Inventor, I can have 2 turrets active at once. I call them Bert and Ernie. Each turret has a drum magazine mod, a barrel extender mod, and a cripplum mod, and both are loaded with AP turret ammo. I place them facing the entrance to my mine, and I don't try to cover the entrance or keep the zombies out. When they hear you mining, they will come after you. Rather than risk a cave-in by having zombies dig down to me, though, I leave the front door open and then shred them with Bert and Ernie when they drop in.
Some people say a man is made out of mud. A poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood and skin and bones. A mind that's weak and a back that's strong. You load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning when the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons of number 9 coal, and the straw boss said, well, to bless my soul, you load 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt. St. Peter, don't you call me 'cause I can't go. I owe my soul to the company store. I was born one morning, it was drizzling rain. Fighting and trouble are my middle name. I was raised in the canebrake by an old mama lion. Can't no high-toned woman make me walk the line. You load 16 tons, what do you get? Another day older and deeper in debt.
Well, now that I've mined as much coal as I need, I'm going to build a little entrance here so I can find it more easy the next time I want to mine some coal. And I'm also going to mark it on the map. Then it's time to show you strip mining. First, we got to make sure we get this covered up. As you can see, I build it too high because then zombies can't just accidentally walk up to it and get stuck on it. They'll actually just walk around it, hopefully. It's made of concrete, so they're not going to try and bust through there unless they can hear me below. And that's okay. When I come in here to mine, I'll put up some ramps beside the entrance here, and I'll leave the hatch open. Again, I don't want to stop them from coming in. I want them to come down here, and then Bert and Ernie take care of them before they get anywhere near me. So, let's go over to the iron and get some strip mining going. Now, strip mining is cutting through the ground layer by layer in a shape regardless of what's in each block. Coal, sand, gravel, whatever. I start by laying out wooden frames to define my area. The size doesn't matter. You can make the mine as big or as small as you want. All that matters is having the wall of blocks around it. You'll see why in a bit. Then we just cut everything inside those walls, one layer at a time until we run out of gas or inventory space. One of the advantages to this method is you get a lot of clay and a lot of stone, which are two resources you're going to need plenty of to build advanced products, crafts, and buildings, such as, concrete. This technique is ideal for multiplayer mining as well, because you can each work from one side or the other of the pit, and you don't get in each other's way. And it works with any tools, but power tools is best, I think. Another advantage is you won't cause cave-ins, so the shape and the location of the hole is completely under your control. Sometimes you can also see the resource you were mining turn into another one, such as in this particular one, the iron vein turns into lead, which is really cool. It's handy if you're planning to look ahead for other resources. As you can see here, some zombies drop in to say hello, and I don't even have to stop mining. I just got to move around a little bit to stay just out of their reach so Bert and Ernie can take them out, and they do quite a good job of that. So some of the downsides to strip mining include that you have a giant open pit that zombies can just fall into from any direction, as you saw. I cured this with Bert and Ernie and placed in opposite corners. They're both facing inward, so I'm always in both of their lines of fire. The other major drawback with this technique is it's very, very time consuming. You're not going to get a lot of any one resource, rather you're going to get a fair amount of several. This method is not hand tool friendly, and I generally don't tend to use it until I have an auger. If I need a lot of clay soil for early game iron production, like forged iron bars, yeah, I'll strip mine some clay soil, but generally speaking, I don't. I try to avoid it anyhow. Now, once you're done your strip mine, you got to mark it on your map, and I leave the wooden blocks in place. I repair any blocks that have been broken by zombies, and I do this so I don't go flying into the open pit when I come tearing through on my motorcycle or on my 4x4. It's a real pain to empty out your vehicle, to pick up the vehicle and get it out of a hole like this. On multiplayer servers, others also get to avoid that painful experience, and they'll appreciate it. If that's your intent, though, is to trap other players in the hole, hey, don't forget to pick up your blocks. interrupters. I'm trying to make a video here. Jeez. All right. Now, the last technique that I'm going to show you, I'm not actually going to demonstrate it. I'm going to show you an existing mine because it is very, very time consuming to do this. I use it to pass time in between blood moons. And when I need, for example, when I need a lot of stone for concrete building or concrete crafting and construction and whatnot, I'll use this technique. I call it mole mining. You heard correctly, as in the little critter that digs under the ground. They're moles. And the method is very simple. You find a spot somewhere away from your base. I always dig away from my base. So you find a spot away from your home base and away from your blood moon base, and then you just dig straight down to bedrock. You'll know when you get to bedrock because you can't dig any deeper and you get that pinging sound. Then I just pick a direction. Doesn't matter which one. Generally speaking, I'll dig away from my base. But when you're at bedrock, it really doesn't matter. And then I just dig a 2-block high tunnel straight out until I find a resource, any resource. I don't care which one. And then I just completely dig that out. As you can see here, these caverns get massive, very, very big, way bigger than a 4x4 hole. There's a little hole there. I got really close. I was chasing a resource. I think it was iron. And I ended up getting almost back to clay soil. And the zombies heard me and they started to tunnel down. But generally speaking, one of the advantages to this method of mining is you're so far down that the zombies hardly ever find you. Even if they do spawn on the surface, they always spawn on the surface. And even if they do hear you mining, you're usually so far away from your entrance hole that they never find it. Even if they start digging straight down, by the time they get anywhere near you, you've already gone 30 or 40 blocks in another direction. So it's great. This is what I do to pass time, as I said. And I've never had a cave-in. Never. Anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your time. If you got anything out of this video, if you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and if you want to be notified of new videos that I put up, go ahead and hit that notification button there. And let me know if there's anything in the comments that you'd like to see for another tutorial or another how-to, or if you just want to chat or just say, hey, you're wrong about this, Hive. Whatever, drop me a line and let's talk it out. I'll see you guys all in the next one. Thanks again.